Good morning, Facebook. This is Lori coming to you live from Lori's Wellness Loft, and I am a health and life coach, and my commitment is to come on daily to share little coaching gems that will help you start living a happier, healthier life now. So the topic for today is fear and procrastination. Good morning, Wendy. How are you? And this story has a very personal theme today, and I'm hoping that I don't get off on a tangent, but if I start to get too long-winded, know that I will do a watch party this evening, and that this will also be loaded to my YouTube channel. So if you have to jump off for any reason, do it, but I guarantee you, you're going to want to hang out for this one because this is a good one. So as a health and life coach, most, if not everyone that comes to me comes because they are procrastinating about something. They feel that they want to do something, but they don't do it, and they just end up either with this regret because they haven't done it, or they just keep on procrastinating and they just never get to where they want. So I want to talk about my personal story with fear and procrastination that started 10 years ago. And like when I looked at the calendar and this topic came to me this morning, I'm like, oh my gosh, how timely. Like, why not share my personal story? So 10 years ago, right about now, I was thinking about my dream of opening a wellness center, but the timing was horrible, okay? We were in a recession. I had just gotten divorced. I had two small children. I had a 4- and a 6-year-old. My finances were in the pits. And I remember I was sitting with my now husband. I was on the floor in the gym and we were doing abs, and I was telling him, and Chris is so easy to reveal himself to. He was asking me about my aspirations and what I wanted to do in life. And I said, well, my biggest dream is to open a wellness center. And he said, well, why don't you do it? And I'm like, well, I can't right now. The timing is all wrong. And he goes, what's the worst that happens? You fail? And I was like, whoa, what's the worst that happens? I fail. And I thought back to my upbringing. I was raised by very conservative people that everything had to really be planned, and you wanted to make sure you didn't fail, and you took every measure not to. And I had never really thought about it because I'm really good at failure. Guys, if anybody knows me, I'm really good at failure. But the thing is that very successful people take chances, and more often than not, they do fail. But guess what? You got to get back on that horse. So I remember after signing that contract that I had 5 years that I had to dedicate to this space. There were many days and nights where I sat and I'm like, what did I do? I'm in over my head. This isn't what I'm cracked up for. But now, fast forward 10 years later, I'm opening all of these email messages now because I'm doing these live videos where people are saying, oh my God, thank you so much, Lori. You have motivated me, and I love listening to your videos in the morning. So if it weren't for that facing of my fear and that jumping into it, I could still be procrastinating today, and none of you would be benefiting from it. So that's it in a nutshell. So now, good morning, Rick. Good morning, Michael. How do you move past fear and procrastination? Number one, you have to realize most fears are irrational, okay? Barring somebody jumping out of a dark alley when you're walking to your car, most fears are just mismanaged thoughts, okay? So I could have laid on the floor in that gym for an hour and came up with every irrational fear as to why I couldn't open this center. But instead, Chris kind of pushed me down the path of saying, but what if you do this? But what if you succeed? But what if this? But what if this? So that's what you have to do. You have to be able to manage your thoughts and realize that most of the fears in your head are irrational. And if you think them out, you can turn them into an action plan that will actually get you closer to your goal, okay? Number 2, you have to realize this. What is fear anyway? Like, can anybody just give me a description, hello, Anne-Marie, of what fear feels like in the body? You know, when I ask people, well, what does fear feel like anyway? And they say, well, I love my client voice. Well, I get all hot and flushed and I feel like these tinglies and these pricklies and I have this feeling in the pit of my stomach. I go, yeah, and then what? And they go, well, then that's it. And I said, so it's not going to kill you. It's not like you're in harm's way when it's a fear that's based in your thoughts, right? So what's the big deal? Like, what if you really, thank you, Rick, I appreciate that. If you feel the fear and continue to move through it, guess what, guys? You are finally going to move through procrastination and get what you actually want. Okay, so number 1, you have to realize fear is not going to hurt you. You're not going to die, barring it's a saber-toothed tiger. Saber-toothed tiger? Like, how old am I? That's going to jump out and eat you. It's really not going to hurt you, okay? Number 2, fear does not mean stop. Fear, people who are really successful and really good at reinventing themselves and moving forward, and just like what I'm doing, I'm serving the public. I need to recreate myself all the time because trends in health and wellness differ, if not, yearly, monthly. You have to reinvent yourself constantly. And there is that fear of, just like when I started these videos, I don't know how long ago it was maybe a month ago. I remember thinking to myself, how the heck am I going to come on live every morning and give them value, give them content? And now it's like, I look forward to it. This is just a part of my day that I enjoy sharing this knowledge with all of you. And it has made all of your lives so much richer. It serves me and it serves you, okay? So thinking about that, fear does not mean stop. Fear means often it's an opportunity for you to step outside of your comfort zone and do something completely different that will benefit you and benefit others, okay? And number 3, write this down, guys. I love this one. This is how I move to action, and I really coach my clients on how to move to action with this, and it works, guys. If you apply it, this works. It's so simple. It's called the 3-second rule, and this is why. From the moment you have an inspired thought, it's the 5-second rule. You have 5 seconds to move to action before your subconscious mind starts telling you, don't do that, it's dangerous. Don't do that, they'll laugh at you. Don't do that, you don't have enough information. Don't do that, no one cares. Don't do that, you're going to fail. Do you understand? So from the moment you have that inspired thought, when I wake up in the morning, and this is how it happens for all of you, this is not a planned seminar. This is something I wake up in the morning, I have an inspired thought, I do a little research, I write a couple notes, and I come live. And sometimes I stumble, but who cares? One of my clients came in yesterday and he goes, I heard you say we, I, and I said, yeah, it's funny. And I do. This is not perfect. This is not something where I go back and I edit. This is raw and this is just for you. So this is what you do. From the moment you have an inspired thought to this morning, I said, I'm going to talk about fear and procrastination. Boom, I went right to the computer and I started to Google fear and procrastination. I started looking up articles. I started taking notes. I started thinking. And the whole morning was taking steps towards this final result that you're all seeing. If I would have stopped myself and said, nobody cares about fear and procrastination, that's a snooze fest, nobody wants to hear my story, it never would have happened. Just like the loft never would have happened. So for all of you, hello Emily, how are you? If this was of value, please post a 1 in the comments below. If this was a snooze fest and I lost you, please post a 2 in the comments below. Oh, you're welcome, Emily. I'm glad this helped. If you really love this content and you would love to share this with people that you know and care about, hit that little share button in the bottom for me, please, to help spread the word. And also, here is another thing I was inspired with. You know about my post yesterday about copays? I was curious as to how much a copay that people pay for when they go to a specialist. So as you all know, I have a coaching program that's starting on October 2nd, where I am going to elaborate on all these little coaching gems that I've been dropping for you for the past couple weeks. So I am starting this class on October 2nd. It's $97 for the program. It's a 4-week program that you're going to be joining for the comfort of your own home. If you have financial issues and you do not feel that you are able to pay the $97, I am willing to invite you into that class for the cost of your copay, just to prove to you that I guarantee it will be worth your money tenfold. So if you are on the fence and you really want to join my program and the finances are something that are holding you back, I will allow you to join for the cost of your copay. At the end of that program, if you go, Lori, it sucked, don't like you, we part as friends. If you say, Lori, oh my God, that was the most value, I cannot believe it, you owe me the remainder. That is the value of $97. So if that sounds like a plan, give me a call. Let's get you enrolled. Have a happy Friday and move past procrastination, people. Give me a little thumbs up and a heart. The only thing worse than fear is regret. Don't regret. Move forward and live your dreams. Have a happy Friday.